I come from a poor family, yeah. We ain't never had a lot, yeah. But the Lord been good to us, yeah. Now we riding on the top, yeah. I come from a poor family, yeah. We ain't never had a lot.
Good morning, Richie.
Yeah, we are on the boat.
We're now on the boat. It is Wednesday morning, a very early morning. Listeners, guys, we thank you for joining in today. I just want to wish you a happy Wednesday.
Wednesday, that's the over the hump.
Over the hump. But welcome to the boat, guys. We're midweek, but we're gonna head straight into it today.
Let's do it.
So first stream, Rich. We're actually gonna switch it up and go to construction.
Yeah, let's try something fun.
Yeah, we'll flip it around. All right. So the first thing is, what is a change order?
What is a change order?
So are these terms? First of all, is this a term that they use a lot in construction when it comes to planning, or?
Yeah, change order is definition wise, it's basically when you have a scope of work, right? Say if you're a homeowner and you want to renovate your kitchen, there's so many elements to that. Are we touching the lighting? Are we touching the backsplash? Is it a full gut to the drywall? Are we relocating appliances? There's so much scope of work we got to define. So first of all, you define a scope of work, you get into contract, you know your scope of work, and then you're headed into start the project. A change order is a term used for when there's a change to the scope of work.
Gotcha. So very simple, straightforward.
Yeah. So what that means is usually it comes from a homeowner change. That's what usually it should be, or maybe an unexpected, unforeseen type of thing. But what it does is just add to the scope of work beyond what the contract was. So change order is a term used with contractors when they want to, you have to have a contract way of defining the extra work, what the cost is, and clearly communicating that. So change orders is kind of a scary word sometimes to homeowners.
Yeah. It sounds scary because the first thing I think as a homeowner, if a contractor says, oh, we got to change something, it's like more money.
Yes.
Or more cost, I should say, yeah.
And there's, I guess what I can do right now is define, there is a scam to change orders. It's kind of like the mechanic scam, right?
Oh, that's
It's
rough.
like you have a broken car.
Yeah.
Or whatever's happened to it, and you take it into a mechanic, and you're hoping that it's something simple. You don't know yet, right? And then you get in, and all of a sudden they fix everything, and your car is good, ready to go, and they tell you to pick it up, and it's $5,000.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute, we didn't have any discussion. I can't afford $5,000, and then they basically can hold the vehicle until.
Man.
Right, until they get the money, and so a lot of practices have been in place, so mechanics can't do that anymore, hopefully. But that's the old kind of trick with change orders in the construction world is basically you could promise something really small, keep your scope of work really vague as a contractor, and homeowners I'll remodel your bathroom for $5,000, no problem. And
is that a red flag for you if you hear someone just for that statement?
I think the red flag would be the lack of scope of work defined in a contract.
Gotcha.
So if you just seen something so vague as remodel your bathroom for $5,000, that's kind of, I don't think it'll be that simple. Usually people are like, demo, install, tile, shower fixture. Even that's really vague. You don't know, what they're doing with the shower fixture. You don't know. So kind of a scam that happens is contractor will come in, they'll demo everything, and then have a conversation with the homeowner. And usually it's after demo. It's kind of like taking your bathroom hostage.
Man,
right? Because if I demo everything, you can't use it until I install things back in place. Right. So once they have the homeowner in hostage, then it's change order time. Hey, we didn't talk about a tub. We didn't talk about putting this here. Yeah. This will be this cost if you want us to do this. And then it's like, well, what did you promise? This, we were just going to do this, but it wasn't stated in the contract. So any kind of vagueness can really trap a homeowner in a place. Change orders, or There's a lot of situations. You got to be super careful for the scam of change orders. But change orders are important because when you get into a scope of work, say we're remodeling a kitchen and the homeowner is looking at what's happening, it's looking awesome, but realize, you know what, I want 3 pendant lights, not 2.
Yeah.
So that opportunity needs to be there for a homeowner to say, hey, I want to add one more pendant light, and be able to add that in and have the opportunity to, have a change order. So how we operate at ATN and how we display change orders, we use it through our portal. We don't do anything unless we get approval. We like to communicate thoroughly what's happening, so it's like an adjustment to the original contract, right? Because the original contract, maybe we have 2 pendant lights,
right,
and now we want to install 3. The homeowner's like, I want to get that 3rd one in there. So we survey where we're at. It might be some cost savings, and because we're already kind of have everything demoed, we can see what's going on. So an opportunity to put one more pendant light might not be a bad thing, or if there is a little bit more work, it could cost a little bit more. But either way, we're going to communicate it, share the opportunity and the cost. So usually a homeowner will say, hey, look at the change order, extra $100-something for an extra pendant install. That's awesome. They'll approve it, then we'll move forward and make it happen. The other side of the token, contractors got to be careful of, not that homeowners have an intent to scam, but there's a kind of a method homeowner, I don't even know if it's a method, what would you call it? I think contractors got to be careful of agreeing on a small scope of work.
I was just thinking about that because, in terms of the contractor finding things that they didn't know. That
would probably be my 3rd point.
Okay.
On my 2nd point would be schedule, timing, because everything is timing with contractors. If you have a group of employees that you have to continually employ, so there's always work you're scheduling in, and if you're going in and I'll give a kind of a dramatic example, but homeowner hires you to demo their vanity, install a new vanity.
Okay.
And so you have your schedule panned out. You're able to plug them in for Thursday, Friday, or maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and have the vanity ready. You get it there on Wednesday, you demo the vanity, and the homeowner decides they want to remodel the whole bathroom.
Oh, gotcha. And it changes the flow of everything.
It changes everything. Yeah. I mean, which is awesome, and we welcome the work, but it's such a dramatic addition.
Yeah.
That schedule comes.
It's basically starting a new project because now you have to think about all these things.
And we've had that a lot of times where they want to test out the contractor, but then they have these expectations so that they want everything to happen now. Yeah. And it can't. There's so much planning involved. And then, another thing is trying to, add a lot of change orders that you already had intended as a scope of work, but still want the same schedule.
Yeah.
I think that's where contractors got to be careful. So anytime we communicate any kind of change, not only cost, but we also communicate schedule.
That's good.
I mean, you have to, because anytime you're adding work, it can't happen at the same time. It's additional work, so it's additional time. So
I'm curious, do you just mention the schedule change being something that's there, like you just mentioned, or do you go in depth and be like, this is why we need, just to we how do you do it?
We really like to go in depth.
Gotcha.
Explaining. I like to do the phone call. That's usually my personal style. We do have a system where we can send it. They'll get an alert. They'll see the change order. It'll communicate everything there. They can read it. But I like to soften the blow because it's additional money. It's additional time. So even if it's not substantial, it's still additional than what we originally discussed. So I always like to make a phone call, soften the blow. Like, hey, this is the cost of this. Let you know we're open to value engineering this or other options, but right now this is what you wanted with your change, and this is the cost, and this is what could add in time. Sometimes it won't add any time. If a guy is installing 2 pendant lights and he needs to run 1 more wire, 2 more feet for
just
the 3rd pendant light, there's I mean, we're talking maybe 30 more minutes, maybe an hour. We're not adjusting too much schedule, but we got to be careful because on a substantial size project and we're adding another bathroom, we're talking another 2 weeks, so it's substantial. So change orders are very important. There are times where there are unexpected things that you can't even foresee. It's under the floor. It's behind the wall. And those
Which was your third point, right?
Yeah, those are the ones that are scary, right? Those are the ones that homeowners are really nervous and have anxiety about.
For sure, because we don't know
We don't know. And we just had one recently, you know. We have a built-in lanai roof tied into the house, and then the house exterior wall, and you have the load of the roof sitting on that. So you would assume there's a beam, because there's like a big opening. So when we open everything up, there's no beam.
Oh man,
I know, everything's just Uncle Bobo framing. So so we got to figure out, and that's a big one, right? We got to add a beam that should be there. There should be some kind of
I'm assuming that's a lot of planning.
Some cases, yes. In this one, I mean, we came up with a quick solution, but it's an easy $5,000 unforeseen 3-day push on schedule.
Even if it's an easy job, I mean, for the homeowner, that's $5,000.
And it's something that they can't even do themselves. So they got to decide whether we frame a wall and not have that opening that they wanted there, or put in a beam. We do run in those situations, but I think to kind of close on this, experience. I think having experience to kind of be the X-ray, after being doing construction for 15 plus years, you get used to the homes, kind of have an experience of what's behind the walls. So that can really limit those unexpected change orders versus hiring a company that's kind of new, or they're just fresh, learning Hawaii homes, or, something in that nature. Or you have a friend who's from the mainland, you're hiring to kind of work on your kitchen.
Right.
And they're not familiar with Hawaii homes. They can run into those situations. But change orders always can be scary, but necessary. And I think the most important thing for a contractor and a homeowner to do is just have full communication. And ultimately, the homeowner should have that right to decide to move forward or not.
Awesome. Oh man, this is good information if you're a homeowner. So
homeowners, change orders. I mean, it is what it is. It's we need them. We need a system in place for them, so
for sure.
they can have adjustments to the original contract and where everyone's in agreement. Yeah. My worst thing, I know I'm kind of going over on this, but my worst thing I hate hearing is a contractor trying to go low on a project, bidding low. And they'll say, we'll make it up on change orders. So that attitude just irks me. That's just kind of scamish, right? We'll get it back on change orders. So they already have a mentality. So I can get why homeowners would be scared of change orders. So
it's funny that they even know about change orders. So maybe they've done it before.
So change orders can be scary, but definitely necessary.
Awesome. All right. Let's head into our next stream, Rich, which is going to be business. How does ATN patch communication cracks with homeowners? And so basically, how do you get them from a detractor to a promoter? That's what we used to say at my old job. Communication. It's so important. I think I'm a talker, so I love being able to talk to homeowners and educate or manage expectations or whatever it is. I love talking things out, and I think it's very important. You got to be able to talk. If you're to yourself and quiet, leading a project might not be for you. You have to be able to express every inch of the home or the project. You got to be able to communicate everything. So it's a lot of work. How do we patch that? Because that can sound a little overwhelming, right? I'm sure. Yeah, it is. It can be, and it is. So I've gone through 3 or 4 years of the business trying to master that, right? And when you got multiple projects, multiple homeowners, multiple subs, multiple employees, multiple vendors, it's just like things slip through the cracks. I mean, email, text, there's so many different ways of communication. So what we really were looking for midway, kind of through our first 3 years was there has to be some kind of central zone that we can bring everything to one hub and have one way of communication. So I remember in 2015, me and Tiffany and the team were just looking online for ways to, like, there's got to be some kind of software, something that could just bridge the gap with all this. You know, just like it's just too much, and it's kind of maxing out when you hit 3 or 4 projects.
Right.
But I know we could manage 20,
A lot
30
more.
projects. Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem.
Did you guys catch that? They're doing 3-4 projects, but they're expecting 20. So guys, that's a business mindset right there.
Well, as all laugh and giggles, we do manage 20 to 30 now. So the goal is to be able to communicate when you do that, not to take on more load, but how do you stay efficient when you take on that load?
Right.
I remember 2015, Tiffany found it. She was searching through. We're all looking through some softwares. We tested some, and but at 2015, Tiffany shared this one software with me called Builder-Trend. It was the game changer. Plant seed for Builder-Trend right there. Buildertrend.com for builders out there. No, Builder-Trend was it. It was still kind of fresh. You know, it's grown so much now. Into what it is, a beast of a software. But I remember when I first seen it. What I loved, the first thing I loved about it was that it had a homeowner experience with it, because there was a website that the software built for the homeowner that was easy, an app that they can download and they can have access to the full project. And I thought that was amazing. And it was like nice, right? It was like, oh wow, it's like my own Facebook for a project, right? I'm connected to the whole team. So we got the software, we started using it, we try to use it to its maximal ability, just saying, oh man, there's so much into this. So now we've grown into this. I think, gosh, that's six years of using this thing. We've mastered it, mastered. We don't just use it for clocking in. We don't just use it for just sending an email.
We
utilize the whole system.
Software,
what happens is once I can basically have a storyline of all the projects, it was easier to manage. So now I can just click a project, it populates. I got a whole page for myself on the back end. Project managers connected, the workers are connected, the subcontractors are connected, the architect is connected, the homeowner's connected. As we just post pictures for the day, everybody gets a notification. You get to see. It's kind of like you can be at Target shopping for your groceries or some socks, and just get a notification, and on your project as a homeowner say, hey, look, kitchen cabinets went in today, and kind of show the phone to your husband, because you have an app. You have access to the schedule. We're able to put together a schedule. Everyone sees it, color code it, tag, assign. So electricians know they're coming in on Tuesday. Homeowner knows the electricians are coming in on Tuesday. Our project managers do a daily log of the project, and notifications get sent to the homeowner. They can see, oh, here's the progress going through. Change orders we just talked about. We can we're in the field, and the homeowner's talking to us right there about the I want an extra pendant light. Project manager just puts it right there, sends a notification. They're standing right next to you. 2 minutes later, she can accept it and sign it right on her phone. Boom, we can make it happen in literally 5 minutes. Versus, I'm gonna go back to the office, get my estimator team to look at it. We're gonna send over some PDF on a day later, and then when you can sign it and scan it and send it back to us by Friday. How are you gonna operate and move forward like that, right? In a fast pace. So being able to communicate that, payments, knowing where you're at on payments. When you start having a substantial size project, you're paying $10,000. You get a physical receipt and an email from that contractor, but it's like, can you visually see where you're at all the time? So just knowing through, we have projects, we have 20 change orders or 20 progress payments set up, and just being able to see where you're at in one source or one hub. And I can keep going. Budgets. Our guys clock in, right? So they clock in. Any purchases we get are all cost coded. Once they clock in, it populates into our job. We get to manage our budget and make sure we can stay in a place, a healthy place to serve the homeowner. Because last thing you want to be in the contractor is losing money on a project, and you can't do anything in a contingent level to help a homeowner, right? That sucks. It's like you already know you're in the hole. Homeowner just said, hey, can you, this little situation here, now you're change ordering for $35, and that's there's little things and contingencies we need to be able to continue that experience and not worry about. But if you're in a place, you're in a hole, you're losing money, you can't help to little items and try to just get through them. Why would you even want to bother a homeowner for, there's one light fixture that's yellow.
Yeah.
The rest of them are white, or not light fixture, but a switch.
Okay.
Is yellow. That nasty yellow color. I don't know why they came up with that.
Tungsten.
Yeah, but the rest of them are white. Instead of going through a change order, just, we'll change it, just move forward. But you need those, understand where you're at as a project. Can you have that? Understanding your budget. Stay healthy in your budget. You can make decisions like that just to keep the job moving. It's not worth stopping for an hour. You can make the job look beautiful. There's little situations. So just being able to manage that. So yeah, Builder Trend has been a game changer for us for communication. We make sure, a lot of people like to text. Which is okay. I get it. In emails, but just having everything central for one zone for your project. It's just a great place for documentation. And I think it closed that gap, or bridged that gap and closed it to where we patch communication. Just, being able to have everything in one place.
Two things that come into mind when you're talking about Builder Trend, Rich, is the amount of stress that you save from file managing, documents, all of these things that you're talking about. I'm like, oh my gosh, who needs to file these and and just keep them organized? I'm like, that's a lot of time saved and a lot of stress saved. The other thing, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say on Builder Trend, you're able to keep all your documentation per project in one place. Certificate of insurances, our standard procedures, the contract, invoices, paid invoices. So everything is documented. Kitchen shop drawings. I can just keep going. The permit, everything is in one place. So when you have multiple projects, which we have, usually 20 to 30 projects that are active. So-and-so project number 62, whatever it is, we need the certificate of insurance sent over. You can just click. I can click on my phone. Boom, open up that project, populates, go to docs, click docs, go to my certificate, boom, click, and send it.
Yeah. To top it off, this makes the experience for the homeowner, an enjoyable one when they see a notification of a picture that you guys finished the cabinets or something, or letting them know this happened or this happened. They see the progress and they feel included in their renovation, right?
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing is the experience. Number one, it's building trust. They feel like their project is established in one area, and it's there's connection, right? Like you said, they're part of this, and they are. It is. Some people think it's you're handing over your home to a contractor, but in this, it's more of a partnership. And you get to enjoy the ride with us. So it's kind of like an experience. Yeah, you're jumping on a roller coaster and enjoying the ride with us. But all you gotta do is sit there and just kind of enjoy and watch it. It's like Disneyland when you kind of go through one of those little rides and you get to kind of just enjoy it. So there are the ups and downs, but at the end of the day, when you get off the roller coaster ride, you want to ride it again.
Awesome. Well, that's going to wrap up our stream for business, Rich. The last stream, guys, we flipped it today. So it's going to be faith. What was your most difficult day as an owner, and how did your faith play a role?
Oh, man. Definitely my most difficult day was having a death of an employee. That was really rough. That happened in 2019. His name was Micaiah, and that was a rough day. And I remember in the morning, the wife called and just sharing with us, God bless her heart. She just, wanted to let us know that he's not going to make it into work today so we could plan accordingly. And I was just like, wow, she must have had so much strength to do something like that. And remember Tiffany got on the phone, was able to be there for her. And I remember thinking how do you handle something like this, as a business owner? And I had to go to my faith and said, God, how do you handle something like this? What do I do? And I remember the story of Jesus dealing with death, with John the Baptist. He was on a boat. He was on a boat, and it says that in Matthew 14:13, when Jesus heard this, he withdrew himself from the boat. So that was really key for me to understand that it's okay for your business to stop. Your actions to stop and have a day that you pause. So he took a day to himself in a place where nobody could bother him. And then after that, he went back to ministry, able to spend his time, have his grief, and then, understand that John the Baptist had a purpose, and that, his purpose has ended. Now it's time to grieve and get back to work. So that was good to know that, the boat doesn't have to keep going in certain situations. So I think as a business owner, it's good to know that, you can pause some days. And so what we did that day is called everybody, let them know, like, hey, we know you work with this guy. We know you're super close to this guy. Today we know it's going to be rough. It's a Thursday going on Friday. We're going to call all the homeowners, paid day off, go home. Yeah. Just go home. Monday we'll come back to work. We know we got to continue course, right? We got to continue course, not only for the homeowners but for ourselves, because we got bills to pay. But we need a day, and we're going to pay for that day. So that was a really good lesson to know. I think the big lesson for me as an owner was it's okay to pause sometimes. It's okay to pause. I think what made it even more difficult is we had one homeowner that didn't matter to her. So that really is what, like, how do you handle that?
That's another beast.
I'm calling the homeowner, letting her know the situation, and she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry for you guys' loss." So I expect somebody to be at my house, and that was I don't know how to explain how hard that was. And I think what made it so hard was when you get a homeowner that it's not relationship based. And I mean, it could be business and relationship based, but it came real transactional. Real transactional. Like, I get it, life happens, but I need you guys at my house doing my kitchen. And so as a business owner, everyone got some time off, but I still had to deal with trying to figure out how to be there.
This person.
So I learned a lot in that season, especially with that client. Just so homeowners know, I know they vet contractors and they try to do their research, and they look for the best fit, but we do the same thing. We do. I mean, it is so important. I used to serve any and everybody, which we do, but we're selective as well. We do weigh the client and make sure there's a relationship opportunity. It's a passion project. I mean, we're not investors. We're not I've had people try to call and try to get us to invest, and so we're not into all that. We want somebody who's not. I mean, I get it. Some people are going to flip the home and things like that, and that's cool. But I like the experience of remodeling or building something that somebody's going to live in. Right? That's the amazing experience. And
makes your work more more fulfilling.
The heart needs to be in this, and that's the projects we look for. It's not transactional for us. This is not you buy the coffee, you pay the money, and then you go. Right? No, it's you want a specific coffee, we can talk about how to make it together, and we'll eventually make the coffee. But after you make the coffee, let's sit and talk while you're drinking the coffee, right? It's all relationship based. So I remember, trying to find a scripture. I'm always looking for scripture, because scripture is usually my tools to help me emotionally or guide me through projects, right? So it's on the boat, it's my compass.
That's a new one.
It's my compass. The scriptures are my compass. I'll make sure, and the scriptures just help, man. I remember Matthew chapter 10. Jesus sent some of his team to a house to just share the good news, and some people rejected it. So he said, if they don't accept your peace, let your peace return to you. Dust your feet at the door and move on. And I think for me, that was a good scripture to understand. Like, do everything you know to do, right? And the rest is in the Lord's hands. Kind of like that horse scripture again, right? Get the horse ready for battle, but victories of the Lord. There's something I like to say is we are responsible for our obedience, but we're not responsible for the results of that obedience. Right. I think that's the most important thing. So if God's saying take a day off, you take the day off. And that's what we did. And the homeowner might not have liked it, but that's not. I don't need to worry about the results of the obedience, right? All I need to do is just dust my feet and move on to the next one. If she won't accept my peace for the day. So moving on to the next house for me was just move on to the next day, right? Next day, new battle. But today we're taking off.
Yeah, yeah.
We're getting off the boat, but tomorrow we'll get back on the boat.
Yeah.
So, in close, that was a rough time, but when you get back on the boat, ready to roll.
Yeah, get ready to roll, guys.
Roll, like R-O-W.
R-O-W-A. Well, that's going to wrap up episode 6, Rich. We are rolling, huh?
We are rolling.
And we're going to get a special guest maybe in the next... It's going to be the
episode
fourth,
8. Yeah,
episode 8.
4th. So this is 6. So we'll see you next week, next Wednesday. But expect a guest, special guest coming on.
Expect a guest.
8th episode.
Also, thanks for the coffee, Rich.
Are you drinking it?
Yes, Lions, right?
Plugging them in.
You're plugging them in. Well, till next Wednesday.
All right.
Right on. 8 to
Yeah.
I come from a poor family. Yeah,